And Jennifer Griffin has more from the Pentagon. Jennifer, what do we know this morning?
Well, Dana, the Chinese Foreign Ministry just released a statement in which it claimed responsibility for the balloon, claiming it is, quote, a civilian airship used for civilian research, mainly meteorological purposes. In other words, it's a weather balloon. No reaction yet from the Pentagon. This is not the first time Beijing has sent this kind of spy balloon over U.S. territory. They've done so before over Hawaii and Guam. Canada is now reporting that they may have spotted a second balloon and are monitoring. The Pentagon has been watching this balloon for several days. I'm told that the president has not ruled out shooting down the balloon, but simply wants to avoid the possibility of American civilian casualties. The balloon is the size of 3 Greyhound buses and has heavy equipment hanging from beneath it. A senior defense official told reporters the Chinese surveillance balloon appears to have been sent by Beijing to spy on sensitive sites in Montana, one of 3 U.S. bases where the U.S. houses its intercontinental ballistic missiles and nuclear missile silos.
The balloon is currently traveling at an altitude well above commercial air traffic and does not present a military or physical threat to people on the ground. Instances of this kind of balloon activity have been observed previously over the past several years. Once the balloon was detected, the U.S. government acted immediately to protect against the collection of sensitive information.
The U.S. military scrambled F-22 fighter jets Wednesday and closed the Billings, Montana airport for 2 hours, ordering a ground stoppage in case the president gave an order to shoot the balloon down. The president was briefed by his national security team about his options. President Biden was advised by his military chiefs about the possibility for civilian casualties if they were to shoot the balloon down over the continental U.S., adding the surveillance balloon does not provide the Chinese government with more intelligence than it can glean from existing low-orbit satellites. U.S. officials tell me they have mitigated the ability for this balloon to survey any sensitive sites, blocking it from doing so, and that they are learning a lot by monitoring the balloon. Dana?
Jennifer, a lot of people are wondering why the administration wouldn't have just shot it out of the sky immediately, especially if it was over uninhabited mountainous areas in Montana. Is there any good reason for that?
From existing low-orbit satellites. U.S. officials tell me they have mitigated the ability for this balloon to survey any sensitive sites, blocking it from doing so, and that they are learning a lot by monitoring the balloon. Dana?
Jennifer, a lot of people are wondering why the administration wouldn't have just shot it out of the sky immediately, especially if it was over uninhabited mountainous areas in Montana. Is there any good reason for that?
I think from the discussions that I've had is that there is no way, given the size of this thing, the potential debris field, that even in areas that you think are uninhabited, it wasn't clear that they could take a shot and avoid any civilian casualties. And so I think that is the consideration. They have not ruled out shooting it down eventually, but there are other ways that they may be able to deal with it. They have other options that, I think it's a wait-and-see moment, and I think there's a feeling that this was sent by China at a sensitive time ahead of Secretary of State Antony Blinken's visit to Beijing. Remember, the defense secretary is out meeting with the Philippines, managed to get 4 new bases that the U.S. is able to use for its military to counter China in the region. And so this is such a thing that most people assume that the Chinese wanted this to be seen. And so the question is really, what intelligence value did it have?
Yeah, one more, Jennifer. Says it was flying higher than commercial aircraft. So if an airplane flies at 35,000 feet, what is this? Is it 50,000 or higher?
60,000 feet is what I'm told. So that's about twice as what an airplane flies, though some pilots, we're told, were reporting visually being able to see the balloon. You've obviously seen some of the photographs that have been taken, but no, 60,000 feet, so it's very much above commercial aircraft
Thank you,
travel.
Jennifer. Back to you throughout the day when we get more.
Thank you.
Nice to see you from the Pentagon. Jennifer Griffin there. You got something there, Dan?
Yes, there's a China expert we look to sometimes. His name is Craig Singleton, and in the Wall Street Journal he said, "We are seeing a return to a tool of the Cold War being used in an era of renewed great power competition."